Hey, invalid. I got my own stream, you little fucking punk ass, bald ass, motherfucking cunt, shit, piece of dog turd. But fucking wham. I'll never be in your channel again. You can go suck my dick. You're welcome. You're nothing but a little piece of shit anyway. That's all you've been. I've tried to be nice to you, but many people don't like you, invalid. And just what you did is the reason why many people dislike you, invalid. Many people dislike you for what you did. You let a little whining ass sniveling bitch whine and cry just like Rob. And he does it all the fucking time. Boom, boom, boom. Rob, Rob. It's all about Rob. You can sit there and let that motherfucker talk for 5 hours and talk 5 seconds, and that bitch whines and cries. So fuck him. And fuck you too, invalid. You can go screw your damn just go screw your damn little cat. I'm sure that's about the only piece of ass you get. Even your wife said she barely puts up with you to your face. So there you have that. So go cry. If you don't like what I got to say, then don't have me there, which is good that you threw me out, which is fine. But I'll tell you now, I'm going to go after you like a ton of shit because that's all you are is a piece of shit, invalid. A piece of shit. Invalid 43. Fuck you, invalid. I'm done with you. If you're gonna let a little sniveling piece of shit that fucking you could sit there for 5 hours and let him talk, not say a word, and as soon as you fucking talk, no matter what, he whines and cries and says that. I've watched it happen. So fuck you. Keep him. You can keep the piece of shit. And Rob, don't come over here either. I don't want you here no more either. Because that's all you are is a little piece of fucking shit, which is fine. Don't ask me to fucking answer questions if you don't like my fucking answers either. If you want to ask me questions, don't fucking run past the question and say, "Oh, you're talking on me." No, I'm answering your fucking question. Don't fucking go on to a new subject. Stay on the same subject. That's retarded ass fucking thinking. And if you don't like what I got to say, go fucking win. Quit being a retard. You say you're just a country redneck. Well, guess what? I'm a country redneck too, but I got more smarts in my little fucking pinky than both of you combined. Because you all allow yourself to never fucking propagate past what you are. You don't want to take the time to learn. You don't want to take the time to better yourself. You don't want to do that. Well, I don't need people like you. That dumbs you down. I'd rather talk with people that smarten me up. Even though I disagree with Shiva and I disagree with the words that he said that made him look like he's a fucking pedo, and I say he is a pedo, guess what? At least he's smarter than y'all are, Rob and Invalid. And now I see why you were kicked out of so many fucking rooms. It's your retarded ass thinking and not wanting to fucking go past your retarded ass thinking. Oh, I'm against it all. And then the first thing out of your mouth, it's always the Republicans' fault. First thing out of my mouth when I hear you say that is no, it's the Democrats' fault. But here's your problem. It's all of them's fault, both sides' fault. And you're right on saying that it's all of them's fault, but yet you only want to blame one side. That's how stupid you are. You talk out both sides of your ass, about both sides of your mouth, and then do your own fucking goddamn bullshit and say, I don't want people to do that to me. Oh, I get pissed when people do that to me. Oh. But yet you do the same thing to other people. You ask people questions and then expect them to not answer the question and let you keep talking. What the fuck sense did you ask the question to begin with? How smart is that? Why ask a question if you don't want an answer? Uh, if you're not open enough to hear another point of view. Duh. I'm open to hear your point of view on that. But I guarantee you, Invalid, you ain't got the fucking little fucking cojones it takes to come up here on this goddamn fucking panel. Because I'll shred you and I won't throw you away while I'm shredding you. But you ain't got the balls, you little punk. At least I'm sure if Shiva was awake right now, he'd have the balls to be here. And I want him to come on this panel. And we could talk about him being a pedo. And yes, I did call him that because I know what he said when it's drunk and stupor. That he liked to look at little boys in his drunken stupor. That's what he said. Oh, I retracted that statement, is what he said. You retracted it? Why'd you say it in the to begin with? Hmm. Honestly, in a drunken stupor, I see where you let down your guard and you say things that are true that you don't want people to know are true. That's my uh, uh, gathering of drunks, since I am generally the sober one around the drunks, making sure the drunks don't kill themselves, making sure the drunks get home safe, things like that. And that's my common conception with most of the drunks I've been around. So, so come and prove me otherwise, Shiva. If you're awake, you're welcome to come, and I would like for you too. Uh, but as far as you go, Invalid, I'll never dark on your doorstep again. That's fine. I will never play your fucking game again. You're a fucking idiot retard. And fuck Rob and his whining and crying. Fuck Too Tall Rob. Too Tall Rob, that's all he does is whine and cry. You could sit there and let him talk for 5 hours straight, nonstop. And then when you try to take 5 seconds, you're talking over it. You're doing this, you're doing that. Don't ask me a question if you don't want to fucking answer. And I won't stop you to answer the question. Don't fucking ask me a question. Don't fucking ask me anything. Make your fucking point without making a question, or you're going to get an answer to your question, and I'm going to stop you from talking so I can answer your question. But when? If you don't like it, don't ask the fucking question. How easy is that? If you don't want an answer to a question, don't ask it. You can fucking smarten your old fucking ass up and become a smarter person. You choose not to. Too Tall Rob. Invalid, you choose not to become a smarter person. And that's your problem. I choose to become smarter. And I realized something tonight. You would rather me lose IQ points over on your channel and let an ignorant, old, moronic man whine and cry. And you coddle that ignorant or old, moronic man than actually fucking take the time and raise your IQ by a tenth of a point. You can learn a lot. And if you think you're smarter than me, bring your ass over here, invalid. But I guarantee you, you ain't. I'll shred you like a fucking goddamn whatever in about 3 seconds, boy. And you know it. And there you go, invalid. You see what I have to say to you. I said it in your fucking chat. Fuck you, invalid. And take that wrench and shove it up your ass. I will never be back in your room again. I'm done with you. No, I am not the person to tell you, any of you all, to not go to invalid's room. I will never say that. If you like invalid, go to invalid's room. I'm the one that's done with invalid. You don't have to be. I'm done with him. I want nothing more to do with him. If he wants to play that, I'm going to throw you off the panel bullshit, fuck him. But I guarantee you, him and Rob don't have the balls to come here. And I won't throw him off the fucking panel. But they would get shredded like a goddamn piece of cheese on a shredding block. So there's your little ballish invalid. There's your little ballish fucking Rob, too tall Rob. And the only reason he threw me off is, oh, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm sorry. I just don't like being talked over. And I had even gotten quiet until I had enough of hearing him whine and cry and say the same fucking bullshit repeatedly and repeatedly and he repeatedly. And that's why he's been thrown off so many fucking panels. Is he whines and cries and does that same exact bullshit everywhere else. Well, invalid, go take your IQ dropping stream and keep it. Because I can tell you this, I lost IQ points tonight on your stream, listening to the stupidity of the left. And that's what I had happen to me tonight. I lost IQ points on your stream, invalid. Literally. And if you got a problem with me saying that, well, maybe you might want to take a time to educate yourself. Maybe you should take the time to educate your guest instead of getting mad when someone actually brings valid shit to the table. You live up to your name. You are very invalid because you don't choose to be valid. You choose to be an idiot, a moron, and a scum that don't choose to better himself. Even when the fucking shit's presented to you to your face. Invalid. You choose not to. Hey, Swammy, how are you? Come on up, buddy. You're welcome here. You know that. You are welcome, Swammy. Please come up, Swammy. There's the link. Come make me laugh or something. But if you cannot better yourself and you just want to sit there and state, Well, I'm just a stupid dumb redneck. I don't know no different. I don't know no different. I choose not to learn to be different. I choose to learn to fucking offend everybody. I don't choose to learn how to fucking make myself better. I'm just a redneck that chooses not to make myself better. That's all you'll ever be is someone that will never make themselves better in knowledge and look like an idiot moron. And then you get mad when you're made to look like an idiot moron and thrown off a fucking panel because you made the host and his guest look like idiot fucking morons because they choose not to learn. They choose not to care. They choose not to do anything, but yet they want to talk about it. They want to put their 2 cents into it. And then when someone's willing to teach them, they want to argue with them, no matter how stupid it makes them look. Hmm. And with anybody with half a bit of knowledge in their little bitty pinky on subjects that you're talking about, just teeny bit of your pinky. Let me show you a teeny bit of your pinky. That right there. That's how much knowledge it takes to be smarter than you, invalid, and you too tall, Rob. Filthy mouth old widow pussy pants. That is funny as hell. I love the name. I love the name, and that is the truest statement ever made. Um, you are correct. That name cracks me up too, by the way. Yeah, they choose not. They choose to live in their fantasy world and not learn true facts and true whatevers. And then they argue with you completely, even to the point of looking stupid, ignorant, and dumb. When to people that have just again this much knowledge about a subject. That much. That's all it takes. That much knowledge about a subject to be smarter than invalid or wrong. Just saying. But I told you I'd do the slide panel, and unfortunately it was this late on my time. But it's pretty early his time. I don't know if he's got things he's doing or whatever. But I was trying to make it more convenient on his time to be here and hopefully be here as well. He could come up as well. Shiva could come up. Swammy, get your ass up here, you little prick. I want to talk to you and see how you're doing after all your shit that you went through. I'll keep it down. I know you're at the hospital or well were. I don't know if you are now. That's why I want to talk to you. I want to know what's going on. Filthy mouth, old widow, pussy pants. That just fucking cracks me up. I love that name. Filthy mouth, old widow, pussy pants. I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna actually that should have been Too Tall Rock's name because he bitches like an old widow. Just saying. When he don't get his way. I don't want to go on invalids no more. So I'm done with invalid. Hey, Swammy, hold on, buddy. I'm getting you there. How you doing, Swammy, bud?
Oh, I'm a little out of sorts tonight, bud.
You're out of sorts. I hate to hear that, but I could understand. I mean, you just went through a procedure, dude. I mean,
Hey, yeah, yeah. I mean, I was doing good most of the day, but then this evening I went to Hurton, and they tried to give me pain meds to take home with me, and of course I can't take a lot of them things because they I'm allergic to it.
hey, Salty, what's up?
What's
Oh,
going on?
lucky, lucky! There's
Hey,
the frog.
can I make a quick suggestion, Tammy?
What's that?
If you go to your layout and you hit layout and you hit the third picture and layout from left to
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
it'll make it so it don't look like we're all mashed together like mashed potatoes.
Oh, oh. Where the where the
That's
fuck's the layout thingy?
You got to go to chat, or actually, yeah,
Oh,
you would go to chat and then you would go to settings, or
the
on your
chat.
end while you're live, you hit more and then it goes to settings at the bottom.
I used to know how to do that. That's
Yeah.
the solo layout. Oh, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. How's that?
Cool. There
Is
we
that
go.
better? Is that
yeah.
Anyway,
better?
you missed a hell of a live stream earlier. I was barbecuing on the barbecue, cooking steaks,
Mm-hmm.
smoking a cigar,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about things. And come to find out that Potato not only got assaulted twice, but she was also arrested.
Yeah, I know. And a guy pulled a gun on her too, as well.
Oh
Yep.
man.
I mean, I'm so fucking mad. Shop and
You
stand
would
on the sidewalk and record.
you would think after Furry Potato showing the fuck out of Van Nuys to begin with, they would have been smart enough not to do that again.
Well, you know what? All I do know is this: there's going to be such an auditor outcry from this that I wouldn't be surprised if more auditors get grouped up together and they all stand on that sidewalk and fucking film them.
I
Well, you
would.
do know I called their phone number today, right? Uh,
Yep.
an
And they
hour,
fucking
an
took their
hour and
phone
a
off the
half.
hook.
No, they changed the number.
Did they
An
really?
hour and a half after that went down, at least according it said that the video had been out for an hour and a half when I finally got the notification and watched it, right? And seeing what was going down, and I figured out where they were at, and I figured out the name of the company. I looked them up and I
Right.
called the number, right? They changed the number, already changed the number
Well, you
of
can
that
always go
place.
out and give them a bad Yelp review or bad Google review or whatever.
Oh yeah, they already got that. They got a bad
I'm
people's
like,
review.
it blows my mind.
I also sent a complaint into the Better Business Bureau too
Of
about their
course. I mean, like,
battle.
I don't understand this and shit. Most of the guys that I see working in these weed places, these businesses, are armed security, but a lot of them aren't licensed, and they don't work for companies. They work for the actual company, the weed company.
Yeah.
And I think the reason they're able to get in there and work for the actual owner of the weed place is because they're working in house. Like if I go to work armed at a casino, I don't need an armed guard card. It was the same way in Vegas. I didn't need an armed guard card. But the guys that work at these weed places, they're more or less not licensed by the state of California.
Right. You're correct.
Walking around and supposedly protecting your weed business. You know, the weed businesses deal with a lot of cash, hand over fist. That's why they have armed security. And I understand the need for armed security. I get it. But these guys that are doing armed security need to wake the fuck up and realize what they can and can't do. I mean, these fucking people, man, that after watching that shit, and I'm not an auditor. I have no inkling or want to be an auditor, but I was so fucking mad. I was ready to drive down there today, stand outside with my fucking camera, and
What happened to him?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was looking at something else. Man, there's two pussies and a guy that's got an IQ that's dumber than a rock.
Who are we talking about?
That stream I just left. I'm glad they kicked me off the stream because I was losing IQ points. So
what stream were you on, Tammy?
Invalid 43.
Never heard of him.
Invalid 43 claims all he is a redneck, and he's a dumb redneck. Then Rob,
is he also
Rob,
is he also a sister fucker like Storm Hunter?
I know Too Tall Rob comes to your panel all the time, but I will not be on your panel with him there because every time it seems like I get there around him, he whines, he cries, and he boo-hoos when he asks me a question and says I'm talking over him.
Rob?
Yeah, Too Tall Rob does it all the time. He'll ask me a question, point blank ask me a question, and then when I go to answer it, because he wants to go on past the subject of the matter, and make a new subject matter and expect me to remember that question later. I'm not that person. I've told him that many times. I cannot remember what he's talking about. So like that. So I choose to try to answer the question. Correct? And then he gets mad because I stop him to let me answer the question that he asked me. And he whines and he cries, "Oh, I'm leaving the panel because I'm tired of getting talked over. I don't want to be talked over. I'm an old man. I don't deserve that." Well, fuck him. He's about as dumb as a box of fucking. He's dumber than a box of fucking rocks anyway. So the only reason I try to answer his questions is to give him a little more knowledge, so he ain't as dumb about a subject as he once was before I gave him the knowledge.
Well, Tammy, we're not all going to get along, and I respect your opinion, and I know that, I have, and vice versa. Same thing with Swammy, but we got to give Swammy some credit here. I mean, it's not easy being a poor dirt farmer sister fucker, but he does it so well.
Yeah, I agree.
But I love you, Swammy. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't pick on you.
Right now, I think the sister used the dildo on him. It sounds like.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
No, he got worked over pretty good.
He does suck.
Good. From what I understand, Swammy was in the hospital yesterday getting his asshole reamed out and liking it.
Well, it wasn't my asshole that got reamed out. That's for damn sure. Boy, I tell you what, it didn't hurt all day long, but now it's really hurting. I can't even sleep. It hurts so
See,
bad.
when Swammy says it didn't hurt all the taking a long dick right in the ass, a big, hard, long dick. Now he's hurting because
Uh,
he's not fucking biting the pillow like he was once before.
oh boy, I'm hurting bad. No, did you hear the latest
You know what?
salty?
You know what?
Salty,
Maybe I
did
should
you?
call Shiva to come. Well, actually, I don't think Shiva. I think you're too old for Shiva. He likes young boys, so I hear.
Well,
Nah, you're too old for
I
Shiva.
also asked Shiva to come up here as well. I said I would do this panel.
Did,
Uh,
did you hear
so
the did you hear the latest though from
No,
salty?
no, I didn't.
Wiley said, "Well, I believe Slammy. He's probably not an owner. His family probably owns the farm he lives on, but he's just a manager, a general manager, and he takes
Oh
care of
my
it for him."
god, these people are
oh my
so
god,
stupid.
I'm like, what the hell? And then they said that
you're the head deckhand.
oh my god, they were twisting the words around on you and me, Salty. It was so damn hilarious. I was laughing at it, and I'm like, and you
You
guys
know,
are out of your
I learned this a long time ago, and it was brought up in one of Tammy's streams when I Could Be came up. You're
What's that?
not going to stop people from talking bad about you. And the
Right.
way I
no.
look at it is, if they're talking bad about you on a stream, a public stream, they were always going to talk bad about you, no matter what you say and do, no matter what you do to try and please other people. If that's the
Yep,
game you
yep,
choose to play, I don't play that game.
Hmm.
They
yep.
were always going to
I don't,
talk bad about you, and you can't do anything to stop it.
You're correct.
and I'm not gonna play that game with Wiley. Wiley, the reason why we stopped talking to you is because it was obvious what you said to us, and that's why we quit talking to you. But you kept texting me, sending me these links, and you
Carl,
were having me
I
go.
didn't know you were here, Carl. Sorry about
And
that.
he kept having me go to all these different streams, and a lot of them was Rick Productions and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Would you just stop texting me? And I even went to Salty. I said, Salty. I said, do you go along with what this guy was saying to us? And Salty goes,
Nope.
I didn't even know. You know, he said it blew me away, and I'm like, well, I'm done with him. I'm not gonna mess with him again. But now, but now they got me uh, talking about how Panama started the war in the Falkland Islands, and Tammy knows that's not true. We
You
came,
know,
we were, wait a minute. We were coming home. I was on the Iowa class battleship. We were coming home. And the reason why they stopped us and put us in position, and if you want to look it up, it's not that big a deal. But back in those days, Castro was a legitimate threat. You
yep.
know, you can't make this shit up. He was a legitimate threat, or we took it as a legitimate threat. And so when he made that threat against Britain for invading the Falkland Islands, we were in the position to do whatever we could. But we were a long, long ways from the Falkland Islands. All right. Now I know they
Hmm.
sent AWACS up. I know they did that. I know what you know. I know you know what AWACS is. I mean,
Hmm.
but and we did. You know, I don't know what all we did. I can't. You know, I just don't remember. It's been so long ago. But then, but then, you know, you get Castro that makes a threat, And back in those days, Tammy, you know damn good and well, Casper was backed up by Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
it was a legitimate threat. There's no doubt about it. He made
No.
it.
Yeah.
Then well, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? That's what we did. We were on our way home, and I got to tell you, Salty, when they parked that goddamn boat and I got off that son of a bitch, it was the best day of my life. I couldn't wait. And where that boat is at now is in the same state it was named for. I called my dad from the nearest payphone because back then you didn't have cell phones.
Right.
I called I called my dad and I said I'm taking a Mac flight and then I'm going to take. And back then, you remember the Continental Trailways Airlines?
Mm-hmm.
Probably a lot of people don't remember that. And I said, and I'm going to get into KCI. And my dad says, well, let me know when you're going to be there and what time. But if anybody knows anything about Mac flights, they sucked, you know. But it was the best day of my life when I walked off that boat. I couldn't wait to get the hell off that son of a bitch. You know, screw you, I'm going home. You know, you got the chief warrant officers that wanted to dick with you all the time, paper pusher sons of bitches, and and then and then you when you go into the chow hall and eat, you pretty much had to eat what they were, what they had there. You did. I mean, have you guys ever eaten powdered eggs? They suck.
Powdered eggs
Yeah.
do suck, I agree, but powdered milk sucks worse.
Oh my god, it sucked. But they act like, and then they're like, well, Swami said he stormed the beaches of Panama, or Panama started the fight with the Falkland Islands. No, I didn't. I
No,
said,
actually, you said that actually all the way around. You, they need to turn that around from what you said. You said
it was,
the Falkland Islands was what, a staging point or something like that at one point, and then before that, England had gotten into it with them and shit, right?
yeah, England initiated it because they were trying to protect the Falkland Islands.
Right,
Then we
which was
got
one of
word,
their territories, which was one of their
right,
territories, and
right.
still,
Then we got word because we were coming home and we were close enough to Cuba. We were
mm-hmm,
close enough that Castro made that legitimate threat at the time. We positioned ourselves.
mm-hmm,
All right. And then, as fast as it happened, it was over with. I mean, England, my God, man, they were good, you know. But then we came home. We went through the locks. We got back home. I called my dad, took the arrangements to get home. And I'm going to tell you something.
mm-hmm.
You ever think you get back on another goddamn boat? I don't think so. You kiss my ass. As far as I'm going to get on a boat, Tammy, is go down river with you and go fishing. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Down the Swami River. Or you come up here and we'll go fishing, down the Neosha River. But you think you're going to get me back out there? Oh hell no. I don't think so. I'm sorry guys. The military was not for me. I mean, uh it just wasn't. Yeah. I did I did I agree with everything? Or did I get along? Yeah, I got along. I tried my best to get along with everybody. You get the newbies in their bunks, and they'd be going, "My God, how come? How come this boat's going side to side?" And I said, "Well, we're not going up and down the swells. We're in the trough right now.
Mhm.
Well, this sucks." And the newbie's going, "Well, I don't like this." And I mean, the other guys are going, "Would you shut up, newbie? Just go to bed. Just go to bed." And I'm laying there and I'm laughing because, back in those days, you just kept your mouth shut. And, you didn't say a word. I just
I'd
laid
like
there
to
going,
I'd like to
"Go
know
ahead."
what Carl Stevens meant by other way around, and then he left after he puts that in. I even went over there to that other channel just long enough to ask him, and no reply.
Well, I don't know Carl Stevens. I never met him.
Hey, She Devil, I've never had a problem with Carl Stevens. He may think that I shouldn't be going after Invalid or Too Tall Rob, but fucking way, I'll go after him anytime I want. So if they want to throw away someone that's showing them that they are smarter than them, well, too
Yeah.
bad. Too
Uh,
bad. I don't
well,
care.
I'm sorry you got into it with Too Tall Rob. I really am.
No,
I
this
mean,
ain't the first time, Swammy. He's done this to me many, many times.
well, I
I've
know, but
even I took the time one time behind in Swammy's chat or Swammy Salty's chat, excuse me, and freaking when he closed down the chat to talk to Rob and let him know if you're going to ask me a question, you got to stop right then and there because I will not remember what you asked me later on when it's 20 minutes after 20 minutes later when you're done talking and telling us five different stories and fucking everything else when you think
well,
someone else has the right to talk.
I was so proud of Too Tall yesterday when he did that video up on Fort Raleigh when it was raining.
Uh,
When we were out
yeah,
last month.
that's cool that he did that. I'll give him props for that. I won't give him props
Yeah,
for his intelligence though.
it was so cool. He was out there doing that when we're all out doing a barbecue and having fun and drinking what we're drinking. And Too Tall is out there doing what he's doing up on Fort Riley. And I'm
Yeah,
like, God almighty, how cool was that?
yeah. She Devil, I hope you sleep well tonight, and I hope you have a good sleep.
And
Yeah,
then you
take
got
care, She
Salt.
Devil. It's always nice to see you.
Hmm.
Then you got
And
Salty.
but you know me. I call out. I call them out. I don't hold no fucking nothing back.
I I know you do.
But
Then you got
this is something that's been an ongoing problem with Mister Too Tall Rob and me. He don't like to listen to me talk because I can talk rings around him about a subject. Okay. And
well,
I know three times more than him in a matter of seconds. Okay. And he don't like that. Okay.
then you
He's
got
never like that. He thinks I
well
need
then
to
you
be as dumb as him.
well then you got Salty. He stands for what he believes in. When he heard about furry potato,
I'm
my God,
pissed
oh,
over that.
Salty was pissed. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know nothing about it,
Yep.
And I went back and looked, but the only thing I saw last night when I was up late because I was a little nervous over what they were going to do to me.
Mhm.
And, and then I saw Shiva's live stream, the recording. Man, you guys triggered the shit out of him.
Oh,
He
I'm
was
sure by
triggered.
calling him a pedophile. I know I did.
Yeah, he was triggered. I watched that and I'm like, and then he throws me in there. We were all fuck twits. And I'm like, damn. Jesus
And
Christ.
yet he was the fuck twit that got drunk and said he liked to look at little boys.
I was like, what the fuck? What are you throwing me in there for, you son of a bitch? And then when I was over on Big D's, you know, I couldn't, my signal wasn't worth the shit in that tractor that day. And I was
Right.
having a hard time understanding anybody because they just kept roboting. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had Kumanita Ascari. She was coming at me left and right. But I could hear her kind of. And I'm like, what the hell?
You ain't
And I'm
got
like,
nothing coming after you if you got Kumanino Scary coming after you. Just
I
saying.
know, but man, she was coming at me left and right. But it was roboting so bad, I couldn't hardly pick up a signal. I had a hell of a time hearing it. And then, and then when I got off there, I got a hold of Salty, and I told him, I said, okay, I get it. She's mad at us. But for crying out loud, all we did, Tammy, is
Mhm.
we told the truth. Even
Mhm.
Big D has that recording. Yeah,
Yep. There
okay,
you go.
yeah, I dug it out of Lady Di. I led her down the path where she wanted to go. And then at the end, when I said, did you or did you not call Kumanita Scari's husband the N word from Kenya, and called her kids half
Mhm.
breeds? And then you sent me the pictures on Messenger. I said, did you or did you not say that? And
Mhm.
finally, she got frustrated. Tammy, did you miss that recording?
No, I did miss that.
Well, finally, Lady Di
I
gets
don't go to Big
frustrated.
D's. I quit going to Big
Oh,
D's
no, no,
long
no,
ago.
no, no. I mean, Tammy's, Salty's got the original recording. Finally, Lady Di gets frustrated and she goes, yep, I said it. I own it. And that's it. And I'm like, aha. See, I led you right where you wanted to go, woman. You just admitted that that is what you said about that woman. And then now Kumanita acts like Salty and I are the bad guys over it, and we're not. We just
Right.
brought it out in the open. Like, okay, Kumanita, whatever. Kiss my
Mhm.
ass. You know, if you want to keep staying friends with that bigoted woman in the closet, then you go ahead and do that. All right. What we said was the truth. You know it. We know it. Do whatever you got to do. But Big D, you stay in your own lane.
Mhm.
You know, he stepped out of his lane twice now. You know,
Right.
I thought Big D was a cool cat. I thought he stayed right down the middle, didn't have his own opinions. I and Salty both thought that. Next thing I know, he's stepping out of his lane. And I'm like, wait a minute. You've got the original recordings, and you're telling me that you're allowing a lady die up there and knowing full well what she's like?
Mhm.
She's racist as hell.
Oh yeah,
Tammy.
I know she is. I know she is. As a matter of fact, in the past, she has bragged about being racist.
Oh,
Some of her earlier stuff, she bragged about being racist.
Lady Di?
Yeah, Lady Di.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was the
I
start
know.
of me hating her, as a matter of fact.
Well, and then she was best friends with oh Jen T, and
Yep.
then Jen T, she gets and look, a lot of people don't believe it, but it is true. Jen T did call to get Eric busted off that train. We know that. You know
Mhm.
that. But you know, what the hell? You can't prove it.
Right.
Just
I
like with
wished I
Wiley.
would have had my phone going when she on record when she did that.
That's just like with Wiley. That bastard is going around saying what he's saying right now. But the thing of it is, and Salty knows this, because I called him immediately after that phone call was over with. We'd had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 conversations with him on a 3-way.
Mm-hmm.
But back then he was War Pig. And that last one where he admitted to that girl, you know, about the girl, and the reason why he got out of it is because his ex had some form of law enforcement or knew somebody. They couldn't do that. They wouldn't do that to him. And I immediately called Salty. And I think that was pretty much really quick after he'd given me his number. And I called Salty and I said, "Are you going to go along with this crap?" And Salty goes, "I didn't, dude, this is news to me." And I said, "Well, you know what? I don't want to talk to that guy no more. I'm done. Period. Done with it. You know, I'm sorry, but pedos and whatever they call them around here, we find out you're doing that, your ass is grass. You're done."
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, exactly. But yet you got Lady Di letting him up there. You got other people letting him up there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Salty said he didn't remember, but I do. This is back when he went by War Pig. This is when we had nothing to do with him anymore. I told Salty, I said, "Do you remember that video that Golden Eyes did for War Pig, where it was a video of her live? It was an upload where she was wiggling her toes on the
Big
camera,
red ogre.
and she goes, 'Just for you, War Pig,' and all you could see was her toes wiggling, and she's giggling, and I'm like, what the hell? I get Salty's like, I don't remember that. I said, I'm not lying to you, dude. She really did do that. I said, War Pig must have a fetish with feet. And, you know, there was a few things he said to us
Hey,
in that
Shadow
3.
Bone.
There was a few things he said to us, Salty, in that 3-way. It does make sense, doesn't it now?
Mm-hmm. You know what I thought was funny is I got a warning from someone to be careful of another person that has never done me wrong, still has yet to do me wrong, has never
Oh,
given me an inkling of doing me wrong,
yeah.
but yet the person that did me wrong was the last person I thought would do me wrong, and that was invalid tonight. That just blows my mind.
I don't know him.
You
I
don't
really
need to.
don't.
You won't. You won't want to.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know
actually,
him.
you might get along with him a little bit, but then again, you're upset. You said you didn't like the idea that me and Rob got into it a little bit tonight either. But then again,
No, that's not what I said. I said I was a little surprised at it. Did I
right.
say that I'm blaming you,
No,
Tammy?
no, I
I know
didn't
how
say
you
you
feel.
blame me. I'm just saying you seemed like you were a little bit upset over it that me
No,
and
no,
him
no, no,
did do
no.
it. I didn't say that you blame me. I ain't saying that you're saying that I was right or Rob was wrong or Rob was right and I was wrong.
No,
Okay,
no,
I
no.
ain't
I'm
saying
not.
that.
No, I'm not upset over it. It's like this, Tammy. Look, we all can't get along, no matter who we are. All right.
Uh,
Uh,
well, hold on. I need to explain something to Big Red Ogre. Big Red Ogre. Rob has played that game with me many, many times. Okay, it is something I've dealt with Too Tall Rob for now almost 2.5 years. Him whining and crying because I stop him. He knows I will not remember his questions later. I've told him this in private. I've told him this on panels. I've told him this in other places. Okay. He should know by now I will not remember his questions later when he asks me a question. So therefore I stop him and I answer his questions. And when it don't suit his it don't suit what he wants to hear, he always has a problem and says, "Oh, I'm tired of being talked over. I'm quitting the panel now." Blah 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 blah. So if this was the first time, Big Red Ogre, I could say it was people being passionate and no hard feelings. This has been several times this has happened, and I'm done with it. And then Invalid threw me away for that, which is fine.
What?
Yeah, he threw me away. He threw me out of his panel because
Oh,
I
man.
called Rob down on that, and I was calling Rob down on that. And that's why I was saying, "Well, Wayne, you do this all the freaking time, Rob." That's why I said that, because he does when it don't suit what he wants to hear. Okay.
Well,
and
no, I'm not.
and he's done it to me repeatedly. So yeah, I
Tammy,
do have some hard feelings.
Tammy, I'm not upset with you one bit. I really ain't. And if you took it that way, I'm sorry. That's not how I meant it. I'm not. I'm not upset with
No,
you.
I wasn't. I wasn't saying you were mad at me. I wasn't saying you were mad at Rob. I wasn't saying you were saying anybody was right or wrong. I I I, I took it as that you wish that we didn't actually have our problem.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, Tammy. I wish
And
you
that's what I
got.
meant by you being upset about it. You
No, no,
wish
no. I'm
that
not
it didn't.
upset.
That you were wishing that it didn't happen. And that's what I
Yeah,
meant by saying
that's what I mean. I wish that hadn't happened because you know, you, uh, you know, I look at it like this. Too tall. He's a good old boy. All right. And when he starts talking, I agree. You have to sit back and you have to listen to him. And I get that. All right.
Mhm.
But then again, you got to remember, Salty and I, and we're the worst. We
Yeah,
talk over each other all the time.
right,
You know,
right.
but am I upset about it? I don't know. I mean, Tammy, I hope you work it out with him. I really do,
Hey,
and I
Patriot
do.
Defense. Good morning.
I hope you work it out with him. But like I said,
No, I'm
we all,
tired of trying to work it out with Rob. I'm tired
well,
of it. I gave him 3 chances, which is one chance more than I normally give most people. I'm done giving him chances. You see what I'm
I
saying?
know, I know how you are. I saw you go up on Peanut yesterday. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Mhm.
I
So
mean,
I choose. I will choose not to go around where Rob is if he's there before me. Um, if I'm on the panel and he wants to come up and interrupt me, I will freaking lay into it.
well, Tammy, that's the one thing I've always liked about you. You don't have any qualms. If somebody pisses you off and you think you're in the right, you don't hold back. You go after them. And
Right.
that's what I like about it. Salty does the same thing.
See,
I have
Rob has also come up on panels after I was there in the middle of me talking. Hold on. You need to listen to me right now. Okay. I totally interrupt what I had to say as well. So so I don't I I'm done dealing with Rob, Too Tall Rob. I'm just done with it. Okay.
well,
If you had someone doing that to you continuously everywhere you go, you would be done too.
Well, at that look, Tammy. No, I'm not upset, but it it does sadden me a little bit. It really does because you know uh it just does. But I get what you're saying, okay, and I do.
Mhm.
Am I
Mhm.
upset about it? Well, how can I be? I mean,
Right.
it's you.
Hmm.
You got to do what you feel is best.
And that's what I feel
All
is
right.
best.
Well,
I will not come on the panel with him to so he could say I interrupt him if he's already there.
all
But if
right.
he
All
comes
right.
up and interrupts me while I'm on a panel, I'm going to lay into him like a ton of shit. That's all there
You
is to it.
remember? You remember that time I was on? I wasn't on the panel with you. I was in the chat. You remember that time you went after Bless Your Heart? You
Well,
may not even.
they might have an answer. I don't know, Patriot Defense. So you ask away. I mean,
I
I ain't going to
I'm
guarantee they would answer it.
I remember you went after Bless Your Heart. I was like, holy shit, Tammy. I'm like, damn,
What's the
dude.
question, Tammy?
He just says, Tammy, I have a question for your panelists. That's what Patriot Defense said. I said to ask your question. You could either
Have him
type
come
it
up
or
on
you
the
could
panel.
come up. You can come up
Yeah,
here.
you come on.
Let me paste the.
I'll speak to the devil's hitman.
There you go. If you want to come, if you want to come up, Patriot Defense. There you go. There's StreamYards. If you want to ask the question out of your mouth
People,
to them, or if you want to type it, type it. It don't matter. I don't mind either way. You know that.
yeah,
I'll speak to the devil's hitman since he likes to take sides against me and swam me. Not a problem. I'm not
Okay.
offended
I,
by it, not one bit.
I, I never had nothing against that guy. Next thing I know, Lady Di knocks him out of the ballpark because she saw him over there on emos, and now we're the ones that were responsible for that. How do you like that shit, Salty? We're always the ones that get blamed for all that crap. I'm like, we didn't have nothing to do with that. I remember when she knocked him
Yeah,
out of there. I'm like,
we
Jesus,
have to be blamed. You want me to answer the question, Swammy?
There, he
yeah.
ain't asked a question yet. He's saying, I'm getting ready for work. He says, last day of school. And then he says, I pick no sides.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Okay.
You ain't getting ready for work. You drive a school bus.
Yeah, it's the last day of school. I guess, most school bus drivers at about 4:30 in the morning do
Uh,
get ready for work.
he's got enough time to come up here. I had enough time
And
and
answer your
and
question,
and
Swammy.
Dude, you got to remember, he's got to start his route probably at about 5:30. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm telling you the truth. So he's
you
probably
know
got to take a shower. He's got to shit, shower, and shave, and then get ready to get on the bus and drive it.
Well,
I
what
don't
was this? Did he ask a question in chat? What did he say?
I'm waiting on the question. I am waiting on the question.
Okay, so
I don't
Swammy, to answer your question, we have to be blamed by people like Lady Diana, you know, because she's got to
I,
fucking drive a badge.
uh,
We got to be the devils in her mind to make all the shit she says.
well, I don't even shave anymore.
That I
I
agree
just I
with Ogre. That I agree with you on. He says I don't take sides. I try to help both sides to come to a common ground. Ogre,
Well,
you're
when he said to me as the devil's hitman to stop picking on Knuckenfutz,
Mhm.
number one, I never picked on Knuckenfutz. In fact, I don't have a mean thing to say about Knuckenfutz or
we never picked
Kumanina
on her.
Skari, despite all the shit that's been thrown towards Swammy and myself. That's number one. And number two, sure looks like you're picking sides since you got a blue wrench and you're always hanging out over there.
I never picked on nothing, fuck.
He said
My
that's
my
Lady Di's doing, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's Lady Di does things, not mine. Thing.
Well, I asked him a question on why he felt he needed to be Devil's Hitman, and not Patriot Defense.
Yeah, we sniffed you out.
Did I
Hey,
think he was
Salt.
Wile E. Coyote at one time? I did.
Yeah, well, we did. But you know what? Back in the day, even Tammy knows this. He'll have to admit, Salty and I, we were good. We couldn't we, Tammy? We could sniff them bastards out.
Uh-huh. I don't ask for them ever. I told her I didn't want one. Okay. And I told you I wasn't. That's what he said.
Well, if he's got a question, he can ask me and I'll answer it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
why in the hell?
what is your question, Patriot Defense? I am
And
curious
why,
about the question.
and why in the hell are you blaming Salty and I for you getting bumped out of Lady Di's channel when we had absolutely nothing, and I do mean nothing to do with it. Lady Di is the one that knocked you out of there. She knocked out a lot of people that she still blames Salty and I for, and we didn't have nothing to do with it. We got to the place. Salty was like, you know what? Let's just start timing people out instead of knocking them out. And I'm like, I agree. And Salty would time them out, and then another one would, and he'd time them out. Lady Di would go back in, she'd read it like Gen T. Remember how Gen T was? She'd read it all, and Lady Di did the same thing. She'd read it. Well, we don't time nobody out here. When you do that, they're gone. Gone.
Patriot
Period.
Defense. Patriot Defense says, "Swammy, are you talking about a while ago? I believe that was when he got kicked out of the thing."
Yeah, it's been quite a while back, but we still got blamed for you getting knocked out of there. We had nothing to do with that, bud. Nothing. We didn't do it.
And Big Red Ogre, I know that too. I've taken the blame for a lot of things in my lifetime as well that I never done. I understand that. I know how that goes, Big Red Ogre.
I can
But
say
you
is I'll
know,
be whatever you need me to be, so you can get your O face and go to sleep.
but you know, Salty.
I like that statement there, Salty. It is the most truthful statement ever. I will be whatever you want me to be as long as you can get that face so you can sleep.
But
That's right.
Salty, back in the day when we were mods on Emo's channel and on Lady Dice, back in the day, man, we were good. We were good. Jeez.
Well, it's a commodity like knowing how to shoot a gun. I lost my ability to shoot a gun because I haven't shot a gun since 2015. I mean, I could shoot a gun today, but I wouldn't hit shit with it because I haven't practiced it. I haven't used it. I haven't needed to. With
Give
sniffing
me
out people's bogus accounts,
you give me a
I
45
lost that
caliber, I
ability.
can shoot it. You give me a 9mm, I can't shoot a 9mm to save my life.
I've laid up my guns, it's in sniffing
Okay,
people
Patriot
out.
Defense. This is what Patriot Defense says. He says, "Okay, that's what I was told. I will apologize for that. People talk, and it is hard to know who's telling the truth. You guys know
All
this."
right. All right, Patriot Defense, I will accept that. And I'm sorry that you thought that about us. I'm sorry. I will apologize and accept yours. But no, we didn't. We had nothing to do with that. I promise. I always liked
Patriot
you, actually.
Defense. Patriot Defense. I'll say it again. I'll be whatever you need me to be, just so you can get that face across.
I'm not going to
He
say
Another
said,
that
thing.
because
Patriot Defense said, "I'll come up someday soon, and we can talk."
That's
Which
fine.
this is his last day of school, so he'll have more time to do stuff. So
look,
But
I accept.
just for the record, never once have I picked on Kumanina Ascari or knucking butts, nor will
I
I.
can honestly say if you went after me
Saying
for
anything
that,
bad
you
about me
have the
or
right to do
Swammy,
it.
but Kumanina, it's on, bitch. And all the nasty shit she said about me, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh my God, she got after me. Yeah, look, Patriot Defense. Look, I'll accept your apology just like I did with Peanut. I'll accept your apology. All right, and I will. I I hate no one, and I will accept your apology, and I hope you accept mine. For thinking that's what we did to you, but we didn't. But we had a nasty, Salty, and I had a nasty reputation of being the strong arm mod. That's just like,
Being pricks, assholes, and dickheads. Not you
oh,
all.
oh yeah, we were too. We were bad. We were terrible. But uh, the one thing I will take credit for to this day, because that cocksucker thought he could get around me, it was old fucking what was his name? Uh, what the something
Patriot Defense says he didn't hear a lot of this and don't know anything about a lot of what you're
well,
talking about right now.
I know. I'm trying to think of that one dude's name. Oh, Salty. What was his name? Something Quiver.
Quick Quiver or Silver Quiver.
Yeah, there you go. Quick Quiver. He was so mad at me. Okay, because I knocked out 8 of his accounts. I mean, I got him good. And then one day, he come in. He came in the late ice chat and Skittles. And I'm watching how he's typing in the chat, and I've already studied him, okay? And I'm watching that, and I'm like, Skittles, hell, Skittles, and I keep watching how he's typing in chat. See, that's how you learn about people. You watch how they type in chat, and I keep
You guys
watching
want
him.
to hear something disturbing?
Wait, let me finish. And I kept watching, and I kept watching, and it was Skittles. He called himself Skittles, and I'm like, quit Quiver, you son of a bitch. I know that's you. And I punched him out of there. And then I saw him on another panel one day on chat, and he goes, all right, Slimy, how the hell did you know I was Skittles? And I'm like, yeah, hey, I am Swammy.
So what's disturbing, Salty?
So I don't know if you heard about this, but Mrs. Potato put it on Furry Potato News Live on the community part of her channel.
Right.
So, Furry got assaulted. She got the water thrown on her. They shot bear. They did all this shit. And then they get arrested. So while she's still locked up in jail on $30,000 bond, I don't know if it's a whole 30,000 or 10% of 30,000, which would make it $3,000. Reporters allegedly found her car and vandalized it, poured glue all over it, and slashed the tires.
Wow.
Oh. Hey,
What the fuck, man? It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's like, you don't like somebody, that's fine, but don't vandalize their car. That's like coming over here and vandalizing my mother's house, my mother-in-law's house, because you don't like me. Who the fuck does that shit, man?
I don't know. I think I would have rather had 5 gallons of water dumped
My
on my head.
granddaughter said who did it. His wife was a cop. The person that did it, his wife was a cop, and it was destroyed.
Man.
And
That's
it
messed.
was destroyed. Now I understand why they arrested Furry. But you know what? Van Nuys has done this before to Furry. Furry owned Van Nuys once. Furry's going to own Van Nuys again.
And not to mention, she's going to own that weed shop. And I'm going to tell you right now,
and every one
she's
of them
fixing to
fuckers
get.
are going to lose their weed license because they committed felonies. And by law, by federal law, you commit a felony with that license to distribute. It is immediate. It's supposed to be immediately pulled when convicted.
Yeah, well, check it out. not only did they commit felonies, they committed a hate crime, calling her the names they did, throwing water on her, and hitting her with bear spray. Bear spray is illegal to use
State of
on another
California.
person.
What the
It's
hell is
illegal in the
bear?
state of California, right?
What's that?
What the
It's
hell?
illegal in
What
the
the hell?
state of California to use on a
I know.
on a
What
person,
is
right?
Yes.
what
Yes,
is
it is.
bear
It's
spray?
illegal.
What is bear spray so different? Didn't Dog the Bounty Hunter use it? I mean, is it more lethal than regular?
Bear
Bear
spray
spray
has
is a
killed
more
people.
concentrated. Bear spray is a more concentrated liquid. It's for bears. So when you spray it in someone's face, it has a much greater effect, at least 10 times for what a can of pepper spray will do. Bear
And
spray can cause blindness in a person
bear
if you hit
spray
them in the
can
face.
take your breath away so bad that it can kill you, which it has done. And
I
that's why
wouldn't.
they
Plus, it
made
can make you
several
blind.
states. Several states have made bear spray illegal because of that.
I
The
wouldn't
reason
use
it's called bear spray is so when the bear runs up on you and you spray the fucker in the face, it's meant to stop the bear from eating your ass or attacking you.
I got a
Okay.
So when
44.
he came out with a can of bear spray and he started launching it at her and she's
Ooh.
running away from him and you can clearly see it on tape,
Ooh.
he's committed a felony. He's the owner of the weed
Well,
shop. Guess what? He's going to lose his weed license.
Yep.
well,
According to Big Red Ogre, he said the wife cop set it up. The guy who assaulted Furry, his wife was a cop and pulled a gun on Furry. I think the wife set up vandalism. Bear spray is very thick and it sticks to you really good. Correct, Ogre. Correct.
Well,
And it
Well,
can
you
get
you
in
know
know,
your
what, Ogre?
lungs. It can get in your lungs and it can actually cut off all respiration into your lungs.
Let's just say this, Ogre. If it can be proven that it was a setup from the beginning, and Furry has some great lawyers, they're fucked. That cop ought to lose her job and be charged.
well, you know, if I was up in the woods, I bear spray my ass. I'm going to carry that 44 mag I have. It's a revolver. I'm pretty certain that'll stop them. I'm not using bear spray. You know why? Because I think all it
Why?
would do is piss it off, and then it would continue to chase me. I'm too old to get chased.
Let me put it to you this way. If the bear opens his mouth and you spray him in the mouth, it's going to get in the circular system. Also, if you happen to have that 44 fucker opens his mouth, you shoot him in the mouth and you try to punch a hole in his brain.
I'm just going to shoot him in the head and be
Well,
done
let
with
me
it.
tell you something about bear spray and bears. The Game and Fish down in Florida carry bear spray because there's a lot of black bears down in Florida. Okay. You know what a black bear does with bear spray? It will sit
Nope.
down on its haunches and start taking its paws and rubbing its face and then licking its paws because it loves the pepper. It loves that stuff.
We
It will
yanked our
sit.
camper.
So,
We didn't yank the camper. We took the motorhome up to Michigan, up by. I'm sorry,
the
guys.
last thing I seen Patriot Defense was I didn't hear a lot of this and I don't know anything about it. That's the last thing I see come up here, Patriot Defense. So,
we took the camper and we went up to Michigan. This is after the kids were gone. We went up to Michigan because we wanted to go fishing for steelhead and trout. You have it, and we had the camper parked up there, and I went and fired up the engine to kind of warm it up because that time of year it was getting a little cool outside. Then I shut it down, and I went outside, made sure that the holding tank of the propane was on. I go back in the camper and I lay down, and it woke me up. Now, that's a true story, and I got the pictures to prove it.
it didn't come out Patriot Defense. I just looked back, and like I said, the last thing I got before you saying that was uh, I didn't hear a lot of this and don't know anything about it. I just looked back again, even on the
Well,
YouTube.
we're up there. We're up there in the camper, Tammy. Up there by God damn it! It was up there by the Flat River, and we're parked up there. We got friends that live up there, and that night, after I made sure the holding tank of propane was on, I went back to bed, and I'm laying down, and all of a sudden, it was like I don't know, 30 minutes later, something woke me up, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I could hear you could hear these steps on the ground, a thumping noise.
Okay, Patriot
And
Defense, take it easy, bud. Be safe out there on the road, man.
anyway, you could hear these loud thumping noises on the ground. And I woke my wife up and I said, "Did you hear that shit?" She goes, "What is that?" And I said, "I don't know." And we kept hearing it. It was loud enough, Tammy, Salty. You could feel the vibration coming through the camper. That's how loud. That's how hard it was stomping on the ground. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. And I then we heard it, and I've got photographs of it and the paw prints and stuff. We heard it, all right, and I went, oh my god, it's a goddamn bear. And my wife goes, well, shine the flashlight on. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind? Shine the flashlight on. Yeah, that's a good idea. This is a goddamn thin ass camper. He'll break the door down, then we'll both get eaten. I said, just quit. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Shine a
Why didn't you
light
just
on
start
it.
up the
Yeah.
camper and move it? Why didn't you start up the camper and drive away?
I wasn't about to do a damn thing, man. But my wife's like, shine a light on it. Let's see it. And I'm like, you're out of your mind, woman. Yeah, that's a good idea. Put a light in his eyes and really provoke it. I don't think so. Jesus Christ.
Turn on the
Women.
camper, turn on the motorhome, and drive out of there. And if he gets in the way, run him over.
Well, then the next morning, I go in to where we were parked at the friend's house, and I told them about it, and they're like, and I said, yeah. No, I said, yes. And I went out and photographed the paw prints next to the camper where he walked through. And they're like, oh no, that's not real. You did that on purpose. I said, no, I'm not kidding you. Well, then 2 days later, they spotted the bear down in Ionia, Michigan, which ain't too far from there, Ionia. And and my buddy goes, when did you see that bear? I said, I didn't see him. I said, it was 2 nights ago. I said, I heard him, and then I heard him growl. Well, they spotted a bear down in Ionia, which wasn't that far from where we were at. And I'm like, told you so, you son of a bitch. And he goes, God almighty. Son of a flashlight on them all. That's a good idea. Could you imagine?
Should have ran him over.
Flashlight in the bear's eyes.
Oh my God.
You know what he would
Run the
do.
motherfucker over.
He would have tore that camper apart. Slammy would be no more.
I ain't afraid of no bear. Ain't never been afraid of a bear.
What?
I don't have to be faster than the bear. I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just have to be faster than my friends.
Faster than you. I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just have to be faster than you. Remember when Bubba Chambers
I, re-
went flying
I
by.
remember. I remember one time, me and my uncle, we were going out to go turkey hunting down there in Florida, and we were going in on this hammock that was out in the swamps, and all of a sudden, all we hear is whoa, whoa, and we see the trees, these little trees, all
Yeah,
getting slapped around by this bear. And we had a friend with us, and my friend said, What would you have done if that bear got a hold of you?" He said, "Well," he said, "here's what I'd done. That bear would have bit into me, and I would have shot wherever it hurt."
well, see, that's what we heard. That's what we were doing. Romp, romp, you know, and I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. That ain't no dog. That ain't no coyote. That's something big outside.
Yeah.
Let's shine the light on. You're out of your mind, woman. Go back to bed. You
Most
know,
black bears, I'll tell you this now: if you have something metal, if they haven't been like fed and things like that by humans a lot and things like that, and they were used to humans, but like a true wild bear that ain't used to humans. If you hit something, all right, big red ogre, you take her easy, buddy. Um, you take something metal and clank it, they're going to take off running from you. They hate the sound of metal.
well, that's just like one day, me and a friend of mine, we're going down an old gravel road. All right. And it was back off in the boonies. And we're going down this gravel road and we see this animal running at us with its ears back,
Uh,
you know. So I stopped the pickup. And the next thing I know, I go, holy shit, it's a deer. He was a youngin'. And he comes up to the window. He sticks his head in the window, and I'm patting him on the forehead and everything, you know. And my buddy's going, this is one will go down for the records. And I said, obviously, he doesn't know humans are bad. And
well,
you heard the grunt.
I had a little doe come out on me one time. I was coming out of the woods and had a gun in my hand. Okay, it was doe days too. Uh, but she came out of the woods and she started wanting to play with me. She was jumping around, having a good old time, and she wanted to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
with me. I chased at her and she chased back at me and things like that. It, but I never shot the deer. Why? Because that ain't right. There was so in Native American, a Native American
Well,
looks at things like that differently. That's not natural. What was that
this
deer
wasn't.
trying to tell me, teach me, whatever?
Yeah,
That's
well,
what we look at.
this wasn't a fawn. It was a yearling. You know, it was bigger than fawn. And I mean, he was at the window, and I'm
Yeah, the
petting
one
him.
I
And
was talking about was a full grown doe that probably went about 180, 200
oh,
pounds.
okay, okay. Well, this was just a yearling, and he's got his head stuck in the window, and I'm petting him on the forehead, and he's licking and everything. I'm like, and my buddy, he's having a field day with it, you know. But then you heard the grunting noise off in the distance, and that was his mother, you know, letting him know. So he took off running. Then you know, I mean, it's things like that when you're out in nature, you know, and things like that happen to you. You appreciate nature. You appreciate the animals. You know, I saw a cock pheasant today. He 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 popped his head up and he was looking at me out there in the wheat field because I was walking around, and he saw me and he goes, "Oh shit!" And he popped his head back down. I'm like, "Too late, I already seen you," you know. And I mean, it's things like that you remember. I
Yeah.
mean, crying out loud, you got to go out and appreciate nature. I mean, because you never
Correct.
know what's going to happen out there. You know, you
Here, let
I
never
me tell
know.
you
appreciate
one of the
nature
cool.
sitting
You
on
want
my
to know?
couch watching.
Go
I
ahead, Salt.
appreciate nature sitting on my couch watching National Geographic.
There you go. Probably one of the
Yeah,
coolest. Probably one of the coolest ever deer hunting things I ever had happen. I get out to the deer stand and I hear this weird ass grunting, high pitched grunting noise. Okay, it's like weird as fuck sound. I'm trying to figure out where it's at, and I finally find it. It was two fucking box turtles literally fucking. Uh, that male come up on that female, and he mounted her and just kept on grunting. It kept on grunting and kept on grunting for almost 4 hours. That's all he did was grunt, and then all of a sudden he rolls off of it. Well,
Well,
I
see,
get out of
He
the
was
I get
probably
out of the tree
he was
stand.
probably screaming.
Uh, no, she wasn't screaming.
He was
He was just a
no,
grunt.
he was probably grunting and screaming in his language. Lubricant, lubricant, lubricant.
Maybe. Then I get down out of the tree stand, right? And I go eat lunch. And I come back and I hear that same fucking grunting noise. And I'm like, them turtles, the same two turtles going back at it again. And they
oh
did
my
not
God.
quit from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till sundown.
Well,
And
see,
I was
we,
like, I'm like, damn, them turtles know how to really go. You really got some stamina, buddy. That's all I can
well,
say.
well,
But I sat there and
to
watched turtles instead of hunting because the noise, I guess, was keeping the deer away. I don't know, or the deer just weren't coming into the area at that time. Whatever. I didn't see a deer, but so I sat there and watched turtles fuck for almost 7.5 hours that day.
well, we used to eat turtles. We had a lady not too far from here. Uh, she would show. She was good at it too, how to do a turtle and everything. And to this day, we quit hunting deer because with that what do they call it, what is that disease they supposedly have?
Not all deer have it, but it's called chronic wasting disease.
Yeah, chronic waste disease. I just flat gave it up. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We got beef. I don't need the deer. But
I want the deer over beef
nowadays,
anytime. I want
well, I
deer over
love
beef
deer.
anytime.
I love deer. I used to think venison. Oh my god, especially the back straps and the
Uh-huh.
tenderloins. Oh my god! But nowadays, when I'm going down the highway and I see a turtle, a snapper, I'll stop and I'll
Yeah,
push
these
him
were
off to
box
the
turtles,
side.
not snapping turtles. These are
Well, these
box
are
turtles.
well,
Their
usually these
eyes
are
all fucked
snappers,
up.
and I'll take my foot and I'll kick them off to the side.
Yep.
Because I'm like, no, just get off the side of the road before somebody runs you over. And
Yep.
I get the look. I'm to the place where I love watching nature. I'm one of these
Mhm.
guys now. When I used to be a big time hunter, we used to bird hunt, quail hunt, you
Mhm.
name it, turtle dove. We used at deer. We used to do it all. Big time hunters. And now I go down the road and I'll stop and I'll just sit there and I'll watch. It's
Dude, I did that
amazing what you
hunting.
see out
I
there.
did that hunting. That was part of my hunting. There was many times I let deer walk past me. There was many times I let birds walk past me, or fly
You,
past me, whatever, because I didn't
you
want
know,
to shoot them at the time. I just was out there enjoying nature.
well,
But I
the
always
best
made
thing.
sure I had food in my freezer when I was down
You know
south.
what I, you know what I did one time? A buddy of mine told me, if you see a deer, get down on all fours and crawl. They won't think nothing of you. And I thought, and I was going down this one road and I saw these ears sticking up out of the field. All I saw was ears, but I seen them, and I was giggling, and I thought, okay, we'll see if this works. It was just cool as hell. All I saw was that dumbasses ears sticking up. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I got out. I went down the road and I parked and I got out and I went walking up there and then I got down on all fours and I started crawling around.
Mm-hmm.
And that deer almost let me get right up on top of him because if you're crawling around on the ground, they don't think much of it. You're walking around, they get nervous. But if you're crawling, they don't think nothing of it. It was just weird as hell. He was right. I was like, damn, that's cool as hell. Uh, that's like with turkeys. We have a lot of turkeys around here.
Mm-hmm.
And, and a bunch of people have all the turkey calls. And then one turkey calls with a slate with a pencil thing. And we pulled up one day and there was turkeys over by the timber. And he went to pull out his turkey call. I said, wait a minute, let me see if I can do something. And he goes, what? I said, just wait. And I went like that. And then Tom started calling back to me. I'm like, holy hell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still do it pretty good. I can't anymore because I've gotten older. But yeah, I used to go hunting turkeys. Uh, but nowadays I just like to go down the road and I like to sit back and I like to watch.
Yep.
It's amazing what you see out there, Tammy.
Yep.
It's
I
amazing.
agree. I agree. That's why when I was sitting out at the tree stand, I did more watching than I did shooting.
Well, that's like with turtle doves. We used to shoot the hell out of turtle doves when they come flying over. But if you ever go out and sit and watch turtle doves and you watch how they walk around, you'd be amazed how graceful they are when they're walking around and stuff. And I'm like,
Not
damn.
me. Not me. I've watched them for hours on end.
We used to shoot them, but when I
So
started
did I.
watching them,
So did
and
I. I shot my fair share of them, but I also took my time to watch them and learn them and see what they did
yeah,
and how they acted, how they did things. I didn't just spend my time when I was hunting. That's the point
yeah,
I'm getting at.
but aren't turtle doves so graceful when they're moving around? It's like
Yeah,
they got grace when they move around. I'm like,
yeah.
damn. I mean,
That I
yeah,
agree with.
it's amazing. It's just amazing. You know, I, uh, I sometimes I feel bad about all the deer we shot and
I don't.
all the
I don't.
birds,
I don't feel
but
bad
we
about
ate.
it at all because every deer that
Well,
I shot gave its life to me to have nutrition, and I thanked it
yeah,
properly.
we didn't waste it. We ate it. We really did. I did
And you got to
try.
remember, if people weren't hunting deer, okay, uh, you think that chronic wasting disease would be bad is bad now? There wouldn't be a
Probably not.
deer herd. There would not be a deer herd. Period, because
I'm,
you're not thinning out the herd, and therefore it weakens the herd
I'm
because they don't have
waiting.
food, and so on and so forth. So,
I'm waiting for them to open it up where they start plugging them to thin that crap out. Because when I asked Roadhog about chronic waste disease over there where he lives at, no, we ain't got none of that. And I looked it up and I'm like, you're full of shit. They have it all over the place over there. And the worst place is concentrated is in the brains. And what's he's doing? He's opening up the head. He's taking the brains out. I'm like, oh Lord, dude. I don't know if I'd be doing
dude,
all that shit.
a lot of the statistics, and I'll tell you that now, are falsified bullshit because they want people to quit hunting deer for the simple fact they want to start using it as a food source or the government. Not us, for the government. Just
Could
saying.
be. Could be. That could
Oh
be. But
no, there ain't no could be about it. There's you can look it up. There's documents already wrote up on it and everything.
well, every animal and every bird we ever shot, we ate. We didn't waste none of it. Now there was two birds we shot one time, and my dad flat told me, he goes, "You don't want to eat them." I said, "Why not?" It's a goddamn sage hen, and I'm like, "So?" He goes, "You are not gonna like that." And I'm like, "Well, didn't you used to shoot them?" Yes, and there. Look, trust me on this. You really don't want to try to eat them. Yeah, we. So I took the two sage hens into my wife,
As a matter
and
of fact, look up WWF Sustainable Food Initiative.
well, we she tried to cook these sage hens up, and they're known by a different name, prairie something. We call them sage hens, and she went to cook them up, and she goes, "Hun, the more I cook them, the blacker they're getting." And I go over there and look down the pan. I'm like, "What the hell?" So I called my dad and I said, "Dad, is this what you're talking about? They just keep getting darker and darker and darker the more you cook them." And he goes, "Yeah, wait till they're done. Try them." Well, we tried them. Oh God, no, 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 no. That was the only two birds that ever got wasted around this farm was those two sage hens. Uh, Ducks, quail, pheasant, turtle dove, deers. If we shot them, we ate them, and I'm a firm believer in that. You know, if you shoot it, you eat it. That's just how I am. Don't shoot it unless you're going to eat it. Don't just shoot it for fun. If you're going to shoot it, eat it. I don't know how you are, Tammy, but that's how I was raised.
Dude, Native Americans, if you fucking shoot an animal, you shoot, let's say you take a deer. Okay, first of all, let me tell you something. You got to get permission from Deer Clan to go hunt a deer. Okay, that because that's their family. So you got to have permission from Deer Clan in Native American culture to go hunt a deer. Now, if you go
Yeah,
shoot and waste a deer, or not even properly give thanks, or do what Deer Clan says to give you permission, like Deer Clan can put a stipulation. Okay, yeah, you can go shoot a deer, but I need you to shoot two more deer and give them to so and so needs food. Okay,
yeah,
that type of stipulation can be put on it. Okay, whatever. And if you don't do what they say, okay, or 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 waste a deer, they have the right to literally tie you to a pole and beat the living shit out of you.
I am.
Yeah. So
Prairie,
do you think we waste deer? Absolutely fucking not.
prairie chickens, that's what they were called. Around here, they used to call them prairie chicken.
Yeah. A
We always
grouse.
called them, yeah, we always called them sage hens, but no,
The
that was the
actual
only
name's
deer.
grouse. The actual name's a grouse. I know what you're talking about, right?
Uh, yeah, I couldn't eat it. No, 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 thank you. But like I
You
said,
don't
around
like
here,
grouse? You don't like grouse? I love grouse. Holy shit.
I don't like sage hens. No, I do not.
You're
Period.
weird.
No.
You're weird.
Yeah, yeah, I know I'm weird. But any other thing around here, if we shot it, my dad always said, if you shoot it, you eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got so much trouble one time, Tammy. My dad had given me my first Daisy pump pellet gun,
Mhm.
I was outside dicking around out the farm. All right. And I was out back and I saw a squirrel run across the line.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, cool. And I aimed at him and I got him. And I
Mhm.
come back into the house and Dad goes, what are you doing? I said, oh, hey, I shot a squirrel outside. What'd you do with him? Oh, he's laying out there on the ground. He took that pellet gun away from me, grounded my ass, jumped all down my throat. And he goes, number one, squirrels, all right, no. And if you're going to shoot something, you eat it. You clean it and you eat it. I didn't give you that gun to be stupid.
Good.
So no more gun for the next 2 weeks, and you're grounded. And I'm like, oh man, But
Good.
hey, he was right.
That's
It
good.
was,
I'm
it
glad.
was yeah, it was a lesson. It was a lesson, and he was right. Oh man, he was pissed. God
I
Almighty was.
I remember
Hey,
my first
Swimmy,
pellet gun. Go
Swimmy,
ahead.
Yeah.
check your messages.
What?
I sent you a message that GD just sent me about if I had a good job, I could drive a car and a Harley and I could meet people. But he showed two ugly motherfuckers, Chip Fullen, the raging Karen of YouTube, and I can't be. I will never be. What the fuck? Harleys, in my opinion, are overpriced pieces of shit.
Yeah, I
I've
see it.
never owned
I
a
see
That's
Harley,
it.
nor
definitely
will I
your
ever own a
opinion.
Harley.
That's definitely your opinion,
That's my
Salty.
opinion.
No, no,
That's
no,
my
no,
opinion.
no,
Now,
no.
the only kind of Harley I would want, is pre-war or during the war, up to a
My
Actually, I want a
1947.
I
Other than
want a
that,
Harley Sportster.
garbage,
I want a Harley Sportster,
garbage.
and that them bikes were made nice. They are made solid. They are one of the best Harleys there is, in my opinion.
uh,
Want one.
my brother-in-law. Oh, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, he bought
But
a super
but see,
glide, and and it
here's the
Hold
was
on,
point.
let
Here's
like,
the point I'm
Salty
making,
finish.
though. Here's the point I'm making. GD doesn't own either one. He drives a fucking right-handed style taxi on the left-hand side of Australia. He doesn't
Mhm.
own a Harley. He's never had a fucking Harley. So how the fuck can he tell me, well, if I had a good paying job, I could own a car and travel around and meet people on a Harley? What the fuck? Why the
Hey,
well,
fuck would I want to meet assholes like I could be and fucking raging Karen? Get the
my
fuck
and
out of
my
here, GD.
here's another thing. Here's another thing. Chip Fullen lives in a hell of a lot cheaper place to live than you do. And what? Who was the
So
other
what?
one? Who who was the other one? Chip
GD,
Fullen and who?
GD.
I could
No,
be.
I can be.
Oh,
Okay, they both live in places that are a hell of a lot cheaper to live in than you. Okay, so
Of course.
so they can make a hell of a lot less money and have a hell of a lot more than you. Just
well,
saying.
Maybe.
my
Oh no, it's
my brother.
true. It's
Wait
so
a minute.
true.
Wait a minute. My brother-in-law years ago, he bought him a super glide, electric start, fat bob tank. That thing at the time cost him 13,000 some dollars. I'm like, damn. My
Okay.
dad, my dad had one of the old Indian bikes,
Mhm.
and then he pissed me off because he got rid of it, and then he bought a.
You stopped me to take me away from the subject at hand.
Well, he got rid of that, and then Dad got a. It was a smaller Harley. It may have been a sports. I can't remember, but when I come of age, and my brother, Mom made me get rid of that damn thing because You know, they're not riding that son of a bitch around, but I can kind of see what Salty's saying. Before the 1970s, Harleys were a big thing, and they really were. After that, they started making them different places, Tammy, and I know what he's getting at. They're not the same bike they used to be.
It depends on
That
where you
that's
get them. It depends on where you get them, but that's neither here nor there. The point I'm getting at is Salty lives in California. Suck my dick, California. Everybody knows that suck my dick, California is way more expensive than most other states. The only
oh
state that's comparable for living in to expense is New York. Okay, and
yeah.
and so any other state, especially like where they live, it's way cheaper to live in. So they can make 3 times less money and still have more than Salty Grant. Okay, so I don't even want to hear they got a better job. They just got a better place to live. That's cheaper. So just saying. That's my 2 cents. Okay. But on that note, guys, I'm going to cut it down. I'm getting sleepy. I'm watching the sun come up.
I'm sorry, this is the first time I actually got to go pee.
No,
Oh,
I
oh.
don't care if you go pee or not. I don't care.
No, I didn't get to pee all day long. That was wonderful. Jeez, you guys
the
have no
sun's,
idea.
but 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 the sun's coming up. I'm going to
How's it
bed.
keeping up? What time is it over there?
It's
Oh
five
my
nineteen in the
God,
morning. It's five
I see
nineteen in the
it.
morning.
I see that. I see
All
that.
right, Tammy. Good
Uh,
night. Make sure
Good
you
night,
get your
Salty.
O face just before you climb into bed.
I will. I
Oh,
will.
y'all see my face right
And
now.
Swammy,
Oh,
Swammy, I'm glad you got a no face right now because you get to go pee. But I'm gonna
oh
shut this
man.
down. I'm gonna talk to you later, buddy.
All
I'm about to fall
right.
asleep on you now.
No, that was wonderful. Oh.
All right. So I'm gonna talk to you later, okay?
All right, later, guys.
I hope you get to feeling better. I hope it gets feeling better quickly as well.
Well, it wasn't painful, but I mean that was the first time since early this morning I've actually been able to go, and I'm like, oh Lord, I didn't know if I was ever going to know what that felt like again. Ah, that was great. Okay,
All right.
later.
All right. Later.